Thank you, Nukitashi, for once again showing me something I thought I'd never see. Last episode, we had a girl get so hard she flew in front of a truck and got hit by it. And now we got a guy who is faced with a life or death situation before deflecting a bullet with it. He blocked a bullet with his... Oh my gosh, Nukitashi, episode 6. Where do we even start with this episode? But I'm pretty much convinced at this point that this guy is just anemic every time he... Like, every single time it gets... He just falls... Now, he didn't technically do it when Toka got him. But I think overall, that whenever this thing goes for, like, a certain distance, dude's gonna pass out because of all that blood flow going there. I'm assuming that's what they're going for, because every single time, dude passes out over and over again. But yeah, let's get into the episode proper. Opening up, we do get the reveal of what NLNS means, and yes, it is no love, no sex. So... And I think I remember seeing that somewhere, that was the case, of that was what it stood for. And then we cut over to the airport where FS is meeting with Sho, and yes, we find out that they're a little bit upset they're not doing their job properly. The interesting thing in this scene is that it seems like from Toka's perspective, if they don't do their job properly, they're obviously going to lose their funding. But she says specifically that if we fail, we will lose our home. I'm not sure if that means the fact that they are like homeless or whatever, and them being a part of FS is, you know, funding them with money in order to have a place to stay and whatnot. I'm assuming that's the case. I mean, they don't have parents, and this is their only places to be a part of this organization. So the organization itself is just exploiting parentless children. I can technically see that. But no, like Toka asks Rei, what is the condition of Ukiko? And she's like, she has a and scarring from a and she's suffering from short-term memory loss because of the truck collision. I thought I was actually going to say that she suffered from short-term memory because of the trauma of being hit with that. Again, makes sense. Even later on, when they're actually building up members and whatnot, and they're hunting for members, they've actually like perfected this technology that will allow them to profile. So they use this profiling thing in order to see like what actually Ukiko, and they actually got the full-on specs of his from scanning her, so they know exactly what his looks like, how big it is, and everything. She's like, oh my gosh, it's the ultimate destroyer, the golden ratio, a titan of it's so dorky. But in that scene, it was very interesting because they actually point out that if they can get this, they can attach it to the guillotine, then they won't need Fumino anymore. Question mark. Again, I'm still stuck on the idea that Toka is going to be working against the show. That at some point it's going to reveal that she has her own desires and it doesn't match up with Hitora. That the governor doing this whole perverted law and everything, Toka probably likes all this stuff, but again, I think that she's probably leaning more towards a cult following. She doesn't want to do it for money. She doesn't want to do it for business like it seems like Hitora is doing. She wants to do it because she feels that and everything is like the ultimate element of humanity, and she wants to make this island into a cult. And I think for her purpose, it's not to get Fumino for the sake of Hitora, which I would assume again is probably going to be because they're related. But I think she wants Fumino for another reason. And again, I'm still stuck on it because they haven't confirmed it yet. I think Fumino is going to be a boy. Fumino is going to have like a massive just like Jinosuke. And so when Toka right here is saying that if we can get him, we will no longer need Fumino. Yes, it could mean the idea that by getting Fumino, it will appease the show. I don't necessarily see how getting Jinosuke is going to appease the show. Because in getting this massive... Yes, for the guillotine is great and everything like that, but I think it's probably more for the idea that she wanted to use Fumino for what possibly has a massive... Well, that's my crazy theory, and I think I'm sticking to it. They haven't... Typically with things like this, you're going to have at some point they go into like, you know, the shower or something like that, or at least show her getting dressed or something like that. They're completely keeping Fumino in the kimono and never having them interact with each other. Yes, she was staying at Misaki's place for the longest time, but even there, it never really implied anything about changing or staying in the same room or anything. It seems like they're actively avoiding getting into that. Anyways, that's my current theory. But yes, they're currently looking for members. But yes, cutting over to Jinosuke's side, he is wrecked. This guy is in so much pain after having and Sukiko, and he's in massive amounts of pain, especially his lower back, and he's crying out for morphine. Nanase's like, no, we can't give you anymore because you'll get addicted to it. And then the moment that Fumino walks in the door, oh, I'm fine, no, let's go. You're just acting. Shut up. I love that little cut there. Like, no, shut up. Yes, Fumino comes in there. He says, no, we were trying to, save you because you're the key to stopping this perverted law. Fumino right here doesn't seem like she's connecting it. Like, yeah, if that's what you say, but I have no clue about it. They imply later on that she's been pretty much living in this shrine, this abandoned shrine, doesn't have any parents or anything like that. She's been alone. And yes, it seems like the person that is funding them and helping them, they want them to pass off Fumino off to them. So it seems like whoever is helping them and supplying them wants to take Fumino somewhere else, which could mean the idea of keeping her safe and away from Hitora, or possibly using them as a hostage. So that at least implies to me there that this is a hostage situation. That Fumino, again, being somehow related to Hitora, possibly a child that was out of wedlock or something like that, that could ruin his reputation. They possibly want Fumino just for the sake of using them as a hostage to go, hey, we got this person, drop the perverted law, or step away from your position, or don't try to spread the perverted law elsewhere, and then he'd have to appease them and by, going along with it. Because again, Hitora wants her. Hitora wants Fumino. But yeah, that's when they address the elephant in the room, that Jinosuke is no longer a freaking sister's so broken. I don't know who's more upset, Jinosuke or his sister. Tell me it's not true, brother. You've actually lost your... Oh, it's so horrible. And then yes, Nanase gives him some kind words. It doesn't count unless it's love, right? And he's like, yeah, that's right. Unless you actually... from the heart, it doesn't really count. Oh man, he's so simple-minded. Yeah, he's super simple-minded. I mean, at least it's getting into that whole thing there, which is like the stupidest thing that I've heard for the longest time, that everybody has like their own definition of what losing is. It's like, is it only love? In the end, it's just a stupid label. In the end, it's just a stupid label. Anyways, yeah, he doesn't like it though, because this is like his status. It's like his thing. He's never wanted to go into this stuff. And I think the bigger picture for this story is that he just doesn't like the idea of being used. That's always been the thing since episode 1, is he doesn't like the idea of people just using people for objects. Constantly just left and right without some sort of value being behind it. It's simply that. It's the no love, no idea. That's literally what it is. I just love the fact that after Nanase explains the story of Jinosuke, he's got this complex because he's got a huge and that he got made fun of by it. Misaki's so clueless to his trauma, and she's just like, am I supposed to laugh now? No. This is one of those things where, again, it's like the story does cover things that are serious. Being is serious. Forcing yourself upon else is a serious subject. Again, with the case of Hitami, a girl that is very petite, small looking, and having an adult coming after. These are very serious subjects, but I personally like the idea of at least laughing at certain things to bring them to light. You can't overcome certain difficulties and issues and tough subjects unless you can laugh at them. Yes, they are serious subjects, but it doesn't mean they can't be laughed at, as long as you know they're a joke. And I think that this show does very good at kind of, again, having something very traumatic there. Everybody's obviously taking it very seriously, and having somebody else just kind of go, I don't really know what you're talking about, but it sounds kind of funny. Am I allowed to laugh? It's goofy. Anyways, they have their welcome party, and at some point, Misaki points out the fact that no love, no in English to Japanese kind of sounds like it's frivolous more than anything, which is kind of bad. Don't tell him he's kind of bad with English. They get their next message. Again, it talks about the idea of sending off Fumino. He says he's going to try to get her home. But yes, he has a plan to infiltrate the FS because he found a recruitment poster. And of all the people they decide to have join the EFS, they could have had Nanase, which would have been perfect because everybody sees her as like a massive anyways. No, they have Jinosuke, who is actively trying not to thing, and you know full well they're going to have them go through training, but they choose Jinosuke. But yes, it cuts over to, Hanami bringing Rei over to Jinosuke. The royal... What? It's the royal again. I want to join you guys. I have to pay for my sister's internet addiction. Well, fine then. But I'm going to put you through rigorous training. I love this whole segment because I do like Rei. I think her character design is just absolutely chef kiss. Plus, she's like tsundere. She's totally tsundere. There's so many tsundere parts in this entire episode. But yes, her going around as like this drill instructor. You calling them all worthless. and trying to whip him into shape. Like all the different like things that she yells out, like shriveled, lip flacking loose. You're not to judge anybody. You're all worthless. Going through a and pulling out the worthless ones. It's like, what the hell are we talking about? Make sure to aim properly, like you're and trying to. It's so weird. But yes, when we met two members of this new group, which is Shu Nakamura, which apparently this is like some dude that's like I know everything about the island, even though I don't know this one thing that Junosuke asked me. He gets named Sherbert because he has a for a belt or colored belt. Then there's a girl that says Sue all the time, which is super cute. Her name is Susuko, and apparently Junosuke gets called Nekobana. Junosuke gets called Nekobana as he's moaning like a loudmouth. It was dorky. But yeah, it seems like he passed the initial tests, and for some reason, I don't know what they were talking about here. He got listed as a creative type, that he has no social or cooperative skills, and he's unfit for labor. He's a creative type. She says leadership potential means exactly the same thing. Scum of the earth, dredge of society, don't forget that, useless creative. Again, it's like this Dede moment right here, but I'm like, so he's just completely useless in all cases, so the only thing he can do is create stuff, I guess, and that's what they're kind of implying there. Like, all he could do is just maybe use his brain every now and then, but other than that, he's completely useless. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, they come to the house, he comes home, and he's completely broken. At the same time, it seems like Fumino is looking through the instruction manual for joining the FS, and I like how Asana like points out at some point, it's like, it sounds like a really driving test. It's got like this layout of like, when you're like having you should always be not only when you're Misaki comes over with a story. I feel like Junosuke, his running joke is the fact that he can't get, and when he does, he passes out, and that any interaction that he has with women is them stuff in his. It's like it's gonna be like every interaction he has with women is that. Even Nanase over there, who previously had to stick the USB drive in there, she's like losing it because she's getting because somebody else something in his. It's so weird. Anyways, that's when we cut over to the next set of training for the FS members, which this scene was just hilarious. The idea that you have over here Susuko, and she's just saying Sue over and over again as she's has to apparently 19 times. Yeah, this guy over here, he's like doesn't have any information on it. So apparently gonna play into his joke too. But then Ray ends up confronting Junosuke for his training. And yeah, he just realized that he's not going to be able to bluff his way out of it. So he pulls out a medical note that says that he's... And she's like, what about back there? You were wanting to have with me. Is it wrong for somebody that's to want to have... You're discriminating. You're discriminating over and over again. You're discriminating. She's like, okay, that's fine. You just have to people. You're on duty. Wait, no, I'm allergic to... I'm allergic to... That's probably a thing. I actually don't think that's gonna thing because, well, it could be a thing. I guess it could be a thing. I don't know. Is that a thing? It probably is a thing. But anyways, as he's trying to bluff his way out of that whole situation, Toka comes in, and Toka wants to test his ability to not. And so she kisses him, and immediately it goes off. Now, Ray does mention the fact that the only person that's better at hypnotism than Toka is Ikuko. So these are the two, apparently the two best hypnotists, and it seems like this is a thing with the FS is hypnotism. But either way, like, it seemed like she got it going really quick, like much quicker. But yes, he he says, no, I'm a member of the NLSS, so I'm going to make a... And it goes, dude's got some superpowers. He's got like superpowers. But anyways, we get a little Ray Tsundere moment once again, her pointing out, well, your sister's sick, right? So I'm going to bend over to be not discriminate. And so she passes him. Oomph. That's when we cut over to his first job. He's out at the dock, and they're having a little bit of a news report where they're interviewing people. And yes, at some point, Junosuke is feeling tired. Again, he did it here. Actually, that's right. I was mentioning earlier that, no, I don't think he did after Toka, but no, right here, he's tired. I think it was because of the training. I don't think it's because of the blood loss thing or blood usage thing. But yeah, he's super tired from all the training, and so Susuko gives him some food. Again, this guy comes up, says that he knows everything about the island. He says, do you know anything about a brunette that transferred out of here in elementary school? He Guy says no. Again, this guy knows everything, but apparently for one thing that we need for the story, for his backstory, which is his childhood friend, he doesn't know anything about it. Again, I'm 100% sure it's going to be Nanase. She just changed her hair color. Again, she changed her whole entire appearance to fit in and not have to do it. And so it's no doubt that she's probably this person. Which makes me wonder why she transferred out. I wonder if it's going to be a case where he was bullied so much and then Nanase defended him and then it was causing her problems at school. And so they transfer her out, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, at some point, because Nanase and the rest of them are watching, they end up snagging Nanase for an interview. Says that she was awarded most amazing for 2 years in a row. I'm wondering how possibly they could actually, like verify that, because literally if they would have to have somebody give an account that it's really good. Are they just going based on what she says? But yes, everyone knows that your is connected to outer space. What is your methods for cleaning or your care? Oh, I do bucket relay. Anyways, yeah, that's when a random Yakuza guy shows up, says that he wants her, and they should listen to what he says because he sent 20 people to the hospital when he was a junior high. Okay, so random. Come to find out, the reporter lady is a member of the show Special Forces, drops him, he grabs her gun, starts shooting at the mascot randomly, and then, yes, Junosuke gets pushed out there before he distracts the guy with his moaning button, pulls his gun, gets so excited from the fact that he's in a near-death experience. Like, they both shoot, and somehow his thing comes up so high, he's able to deflect the bullets. That had to hurt. And it's like on the too. That had to hurt. No wonder he passed out. But again, I think it's because he's anemic. I think literally it's so much blood flowing there. He literally just loses oxygen to his brain and just passes out. It was dorky. The whole thing's stupid. Stop trying to make it scientific, Andrew. But yeah, anyways, he's about to get reprimanded by the lady from show before they step forward and say, your lady lost her gun, and that caused the incident, so it's technically your guys' fault. But it was cute kind of seeing everybody from the FS group kind of trying to defend him. Even Ray and the other members that are just joining. I really do feel like this episode with, again, my suspicion about Toka and the fact that she's not going for the betterment of what Hitoro wants. She's not going for what the governor himself wants. She's doing her own thing, with Ray pretty much seemingly, for the most part, being a pretty positive character. And then these new FS members, it really does feel like eventually it's going to come to Jonosuke kind of pulling the FS to his side for their own gain. I still think he's going to go up against Toka at some point because, again, I think she's wanting to create a cult. So it's like an enemy of my enemy is my friend. I think that's what they're literally going to do with Toka. She's a antagonist character, but she's going to eventually be somebody that can take their side to defeat a bigger antagonist. That's what I assume they're going to go with. But anyways, they wrap up the episode with them having the little meeting and scanning Jinosuke's to find out that the matches what Ikoko. I was really expecting for Ikoko at some point to watch the footage and go, I recognize that or something like that. It makes more sense that, the new scanning technology that apparently is it's for everything. They can scan anything to find how big it is. It's wild. This show continues to be absolutely wild, and I love it. I love that it holds nothing back. Nothing cannot be made fun of, and it's great. So anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 6 of Nukitashi. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and want to support more, become a member of the channel, because as always, it'll probably get demonetized. Last week was so close. Like, it was very difficult to get it monetized. It was very difficult. So I appreciate you guys' support. Y'all take care.